For more on the PQ, its monetary policy and separation, we are joined by political analyst Raphael Melancon. So Raphael, a big weekend for the PQ, for that party. These are obviously very important economic topics, very important for Quebec's economy. The way that this was presented, do you see this potentially helping the party or scaring some people away?
Well, Matt, some could say that at least the PQ is being very transparent in its intentions regarding Quebec's economy and the future of a Quebec currency. But I don't believe this is going to help in any way the sovereignist project here, because right now, in the current economic context, specifically with the threats we're facing from the US, Quebecers want stability. They don't need more instability. So if you're promising something like creating a new Quebec currency in an independent Quebec, that would certainly generate more insecurity for at least on the short to mid-term for the Quebec economy. So of course I don't see this as in any way appealing to Quebecers. And as we know, sovereignty right now is still under 40% in the latest polls. So Paul St-Pierre Plamondon needs to convince Quebecers who are afraid of sovereignty that this is a project that is really good for the future of the province and the nation. And here I don't see this. You know, it's a drastic shift from the tradition within the PQ. You know, René Lévesque back in the days talked about sovereignty association with the rest of Canada. Even Parizeau, who was a radical sovereignist in 1995, promised that there would be a deal negotiated with the rest of Canada to maintain at least some economic ties with the rest of the country. Remember, we just commemorated recently the 30th anniversary of the 1995 referendums. We all remember the signs of the yes side that had this loonie on those signs promising that we would maintain the Canadian dollar as an independent Quebec's currency. So this is a major shift for the PQ, and I don't think it's going to play in favor of the party for the next election, at least.
The Liberals already jumping all over this, criticizing the PQ on this matter. Are we moving back to the traditional sovereignty versus federalism battles here in Quebec?
Well, it seems like it. You know, the election of the CQ in 2018 seemed like it was opening a new chapter in Quebec politics after 50 years of a battle between sovereignists and federalists, and now we seem to be going back to these old battles between the PQ and the Liberals. And what we heard today from the Liberals, the reactions from the Liberal Party, seems like we're going back yet to the same old discourse against sovereignty. A bit of fear-mongering here from the Liberals saying, oh, this is going to generate much instability. Quebecers don't want this. So, of course, this is the same things, the same arguments we've heard against sovereignty over and over for the past decades. And it seems like we're going back to this now. Is this going to be the question of the urn? As we have seen in recent polls, the gap between the PQ and the Liberals is slowly shrinking. So it shows that maybe some people are afraid of voting PQ and are turning towards the Liberals as a refuge against a potential third referendum on independence.
Political analyst Raphael Melancon, thank you so much for joining us today.
Always a pleasure, Matt. See you next time.